Hey everybody, welcome back to Deep Recruiting. There's a certain show host that I listened to for a long time who doesn't really broadcast anymore at all. And it's hard not to think of what he would say when he would start each show, and he would basically welcome everybody to broadcasting excellence. So I'm going to say welcome to podcasting excellence, because that's what we're striving for here on Deep Recruiting. Today, we're going to go over some viewer questions, cover a couple of simple topics. Again, we're going to keep it short. We're going to try to make this relevant to you and your week so that you can improve your success and make more money. We want you to be the hero for your customers. So let's just kind of jump right into it. I do want you to know you can always email your questions to deeprecruiting@teamgtn.com. And who knows, there's a good chance we'll probably ask your question live on air. We don't have that many followers yet. We're trying to grow this up. And so you've got a very good chance of getting a lot of attention. So let's jump in, shall we? First question is, does your team read every resume, or do you depend on automation? And the answer to that is quite simply, it depends. We actually do rely on some automation. We've developed our own AI agents internally that will review resumes and give us the pros and cons based on the resume. And these are on hard skills. We're not allowing any bias into it. For example, if the job requires a bachelor's degree and they prefer a bachelor's degree in computer science, it's going to rank the resumes out if we get, say, 20, 30, 40, 50 applications based on whether or not they've got a bachelor's in computer science. That would be ranked number one. Then below that would be ranked number two, would be just a bachelor's degree, for example. And below that's going to be an associate's degree. And below that are going to be people that don't list a degree at all, or they're being vague or what have you on it. And it doesn't tell us who we need to be calling. It points us in the direction of where we want to be calling first. All the resumes still get reviewed by a human being, but we're simply sorting them in a way that we can probably get to the more likely candidate up front. I got to tell you, automation is flawed. I know we developed it in-house, and we're not perfect. We're going to make mistakes. That's why every human reviews every resume. And we have found, well, every human in the process. What we have found is some candidates who don't rank very well should have been ranked very well, very highly, because there are certain intangibles in how their resume content is presented. For example, some people present their resume in a very chaotic, frankly, unreadable format. You look at it and you go, what is this? Who wrote this? Why is it in crayon? You get some of that. Maybe that guy or gal's got the bachelor's in computer science. And another resume where maybe they don't have the bachelor's in computer science, but it's a very well-structured resume and there's a lot of excellent content that is relevant to what this position entails. That person's actually more likely to get the phone call. So again, we do use it, but we use it as a compass to improve our efficiency and improve our time, but we don't use it as an exclusionary tool, because right now, only a fool would do something of that nature. So for that question, yes, we do, but not exclusively. How much are you able to help hiring managers in drafting a role description? Well, quite honestly, we do it almost every single time. Every requirement we get, we want to have a conversation with the actual hiring authority, the person who's going to make the final decision. We want to understand what is truly required, what is something we can have wiggle room on, and what can we actually toss out. I've been doing this for 30 years. It's not unusual to get a requirement, and they want the sun, the moon, the sky. They want everything. And of course, they want it for an entry-level type of salary. Part of our responsibility is to narrow those requirements down to what the core need really is all about. For example, if I'm buying a car, is my need about sportiness? Is it about performance? Is it about looks? Is it about reliability? Or is it about longevity of the car? Is it about utility and how many people I can carry or how much junk I can carry? Is it a grocery getter? There's a lot of different requirements that are the true requirements, but you actually get that list of requirements. Oh, it's got to be sporty and it's got to be reliable. Yeah, good luck with that. You're not going to get that. And I've gotten a lot of requirements like that in the past. Clipper is a dead programming language. It's not unusual to get a requirement every now and then. And this is just an example. We want somebody fresh out of school who wants to make Clipper their career. You can want that all you want, but you're not going to get it. So that two-way communication is absolutely critical. And quite frankly, we rewrite our requirements quite a bit to make sure we're emphasizing the critical need and we're de-emphasizing where the wiggle room really, really is, because we want to focus on where that critical need is. Sometimes we write the job description from scratch. Client will tell us, hey, in 2 weeks, we're going to be looking for a Python developer. Well, we know what to look for in a Python developer. We don't want to wait 2 weeks for that formal requirement. So we're going to actually create that job description on our own. We're going to start recruiting for it because we know generally what that client is looking for. So in fact, yeah, we write the job descriptions quite a bit, more often than most people probably would expect. Next question. Aside from AI, artificial intelligence related roles, what are the hottest roles right now? That's a question that's kind of impossible to answer. That's going to depend on your geographical area. It's going to depend on your client mix. We're doing an awful lot of field techs, network support, desktop support. We're getting a lot of requirements for that, but we're also getting a lot of Epicor type requirements. We're getting AI types of requirements. So it really kind of depends on where you're located, the niche of your individual staffing agency, and frankly, the talent that's on board and where those account managers like to spend their time. Because if you've got a gentleman like we do who focuses on Epicor, you're going to naturally end up with a lot more Epicor requirements. It sort of becomes this self-fulfilling loop. If I'm going to recruit Python developers, I'm going to find out about more Python opportunities by default. And so I'm going to have more Python jobs, and I'm going to think automatically, wow, Python's really hot today. And maybe it isn't really, but that's the circle I'm running in. So those are the jobs I'm going to see a lot more of. This specialization is key to your success, and key to you building up a talent pool and a network you can always rely on. And the last question we're going to deal with today, how do you use AI to target client companies and candidates? Well, that's kind of a complicated question too. And honestly, maybe it's a question you should be putting into your AI tool. I happen to use ChatGPT and Grok. Those are my two favorite, but I might put in a question, again, if I'm working on Python, give me a list of companies that have hired or been looking for a Python developer in the last 12 months. Suddenly I've got a list of prospects I can reach out to and find opportunities with. And then I want to put them in a constant rotation where I'm constantly reaching out to these individual companies. So that's kind of how AI is impacting us and our business. I'm sure you're dealing with a lot of this yourself, and you may be dealing with AI in ways that we haven't even thought of. Reach out to us, talk to us. Deep Recruiting at Team GTN. We'd love to hear your input on what you're dealing with as it relates to AI and staffing. And this has been Deep Recruiting. We hope you have a wonderful week. We hope it's a great big success for you and you close as many deals as you possibly can. Thanks a bunch, everybody. Appreciate you tuning in. Please leave a comment for us below. Send us your questions and have a great week. Take care.